The all-new LEGO Minecraft 2025 summer sets have been revealed and are really cool, but with one caveat. And this thing has been quite the discussion with a lot of different people and fans of the theme. That is the price. The price of these sets, on some of them, is quite high. And many people are calling these too expensive and not worth the price. For example, the Pillager Outpost at about £75, and even higher in some other currencies. But I'm here to tell you that these sets aren't overpriced. They're just differently priced to other themes which have different ranges. So, first of all, let's get out some of the other sets out the way. Some of these other sets aren't actually too badly priced. They have a pretty fair price per piece ratio, considering the theme and the minifigures included. Things like the Enderman Tower and that, they aren't too higher priced and many people are not complaining about them. There is one set in particular which people do complain about sometimes, and that is the TNT house, which is kind of fair because it does look kind of ugly. Not many big pieces. So, yeah, I can understand that one. I will not be picking this one up. But the TNT house is an exception to this whole thing. The rest of the sets are pretty fairly priced, and they have a good ratio. The one set that many people have been commenting on is the Pillager Outpost. And yes, I do have to agree that price tag is pretty high. It was not expected for me. I was not expecting that high, especially for the piece count being exactly the same as the Creeper, which is in the same wave, and being double the price is quite an achievement, I'm going to be honest. But there is reasoning behind this. So, LEGO Minecraft is a theme based on an IP, an intellectual property. It is a game which is extremely popular, the most popular game of all time, and therefore LEGO will have to pay to use this theme, because obviously they are using this theme to gain their popularity and make money from them, so they have to pay to use it. Therefore, LEGO Minecraft sets will cost more due to the use of the IP. Because the IP costs money, there is upcharges on the sets. As you can see here, it is pretty clear with things like the Pillager Outpost that these sets are more pricey because of those things. We see the exact same things with sets like the LEGO Star Wars themes. They have extortionate prices, such as the Millennium Falcon. All of those sets, all the UCS sets, have extreme prices, which are much higher than many other sets of that kind. Like the largest LEGO Minecraft set ever has nothing on the largest LEGO Star Wars set ever, and the largest set of all time, that has a lower price than the largest LEGO Star Wars set. So yes, the IPs do make it cost a bit more money. But then in some cases it's slightly less expensive, like in the case of the Creeper, because not as many minifigures, not as many molded pieces. Alongside the IP, LEGO Minecraft contains a lot of specialised molded pieces for things like the minifigures with the square heads and all of those sort of things, including spiders, polar bears, endermen. There's so many custom pieces just for this theme. And of course, those cost money to produce, and they are produced specifically for these sets. So, therefore, the more minifigures you have in a set, the likelihood the price will be slightly higher. And something like the Pillager Outpost has a lot of different minifigures and includes a Ravager, which is really nice. And we do really like that we've got that back. Although it does decrease the rarity from the Illager raid. But that happens a lot in these sort of things. A lot of different minifigures have decreased in rarity. And we're just going to have to live with it. For some people, it's a second chance to try and pick up a minifigure which they would have really wanted to have when the set was originally out, but didn't get the chance. And, to be honest, for the set you're getting, it could be considered a worthy price. That Pillager Outpost set is really cool and is very much wanted by many fans of the theme. Therefore, we are willing to pay a higher price for it. And I'd say the fact that we finally got one just makes the price worth it after all. Because there are a couple of pillagers, a ravager, all of that, as well as another villager house, I'd say in most cases this would be worth the price. A lot of new pieces as well, such as the ladder pieces, and things like that just make it even more valuable. But in some people's eyes, it's just not worth that. And that is understandable when you compare it to the likes of the Creeper, but you do have to take into consideration the lack of many minifigures except for a pig Easter egg thing, and then the amount of pieces that are much larger. The creeper has a lot of smaller pieces, a lot of 1x1 tiles, and a lot of 1x2 tiles, which you do not see a lot of in the Pillager Outpost, which has a lot of larger pieces. As for other sets of the wave, they may be in less demand, not as many people would have wanted them, and the minifigures will have a big thing to do with that. That Ravager will also have an elastic band, I hope, to give it the ability to eat, but we'll have to see about that one. And I think a lot of the sets, excluding the Pillager Outpost, are much worth the price. Except for the TNT house, of course, because that one's just, not a fan of that one. The Enderman Tower has some really cool separate builds that you can put different builds in, and it makes for a really nice set overall. Like this massive thing here, it looks amazing. And the minifigure selection in that includes 2 Endermen, some custom skins, and exclusive Endermites, mind you. So that is pretty cool for the price, as well as also acting as almost a display piece, as it can be put as just a giant Enderman figure. Alongside that, the the Warden Encounter has the Warden minifigure, which was only other seen in another set, which was over £50. This one's more in the 20s, so that is good for many people. It gives them more of an opportunity to get a minifigure for a lower price. Although some of the prices may be high, some of them are more reasonably priced. Pillager Outpost is not really one of them, but for the largeness of the pieces, the excitingness of the minifigures, and the demand it will be in, I think, you know what, it can be justified. And LEGO does sometimes do some really good value sets, such as the Nether Lava Battle in the recent wave back in January. We got a lot of exclusive and different minifigures in that set, which were for the low price of about £9 or $10. It was a really good value set for some really nice minifigures. Of course, the build wasn't very big, but sometimes you gotta sacrifice some things to get other good things. And that was one of those cases, and I think it does really well. This wave was more about larger sets with really nice minifigures. Ones that we've been waiting for quite some time. And you know what, it was really exciting when I saw that Pillager Outpost has finally come out, since you know how much I'd been talking about it. Also, the Creeper could basically pass as an 18+ set, which is pretty awesome as well. As well as that Enderman being pretty good for displaying as well. So, you got a Creeper and an Enderman, there's not much to complain about. But then again, what do you guys think about the pricing of the sets this year? I know many of you have expressed your opinions about the Pillager Outpost, and I totally agree with some of your points. But after reviewing everything about the theme, what are your final thoughts? Do you think some other sets are overpriced? Or do you think they're fairly priced? Do tell me in the comments down below. And please do consider subscribing, it helps the channel out a lot. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. You can subscribe up there. There is another video down there. Really hope you enjoyed. Tell me your comments and thoughts down in the comments down below. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.